Warhammer 40K isn't just about battles, it's about gigantic monsters that could level cities with a single blow. These monsters are what make Warhammer 40K universe so fierce and deadly. In this video, we're diving into the biggest creatures in the entire Warhammer 40K universe. These aren't your average monsters. We're talking about titanic beasts that can crush tanks, destroy armies, and even bring entire planets to their knees. Without wasting any time, let's dive right into it. First up, we have the Krorks. Long before the orcs we know today roamed the galaxy, there were the Krorks, massive, intelligent, and deadly warriors created by the mysterious Old Ones during the War in Heaven. These hulking brutes were built for one purpose: to fight the Necrons and their Catan masters. Unlike modern orcs, Krorks were more organized, more disciplined, and far more dangerous. They were stronger, smarter, and much bigger, standing at a towering 39 feet tall. Next up, we have the Hierophant Biotitan. These immense, hideous creatures tower over the battlefield and bristle with spines, tendrils, and symbiote weapons. They are amongst the largest bio-creatures yet encountered among the swarms of the Tyranid hive fleets, comparable in size and power to an Imperial Titan. A group of Hierophants is usually seen leading the charge during a major Tyranid invasion. They are armed with huge biocannons, sharp claws, and deadly blade-like limbs. Their bodies are covered in thick, hard armor made from chitin, which is tough to break. When their armor gets damaged, it releases poisonous spores into the air, making them even more dangerous. The Hierophant Biotitan stands at a staggering 43 feet tall. Now that we've talked about the Hierophant Biotitan, it makes sense that we discuss the Squiggoth. Amongst the largest of all squigs, the Squiggoth is a massive quadrupedal beast kept by feral orcs. It commonly has a howdah on its back where boys ride into battle, shooting mounted guns such as the Supalaba as they go. The Squiggoths are identified as fungal life forms, though they are fairly rare and can only be grown by a specialist breeder pigdock of the Snakebites clan. Some Squiggoths are used to carry troops into battle, while others are simply pointed at the enemy and let loose to cause chaos. They stand anywhere between 50 to 65 feet. Next up, we have a flying creature on this list, the Herodon Biotitan. The Herodon is one of the largest flying Tyranid creatures the Imperium has yet encountered. It has 2 biocannons and a pair of scything talons for swooping low and slashing up tanks. Being a living creature and relying on wings rather than jet engines, the Herodon cannot match an aircraft for straight-line speed, but its twisting body is far more maneuverable, allowing it to twist and turn to avoid enemy fire. The Herodon has no legs or feet, and because of this, it has been theorized that once airborne, a Herodon can never land. Though some xenobiologists believe that Herodons can land and slither on their bellies like snakes, it is only a theory at this moment. This terrifying creature stretches between 130 to 165 feet in length. That's longer than a Boeing 737 or a blue whale, making the Herodon not just a threat in the sky, but a flying monster the size of an airliner. On number 11, we have the Abominatus. Known as the Despoiler of Worlds, the Abominatus is one of the most frightening of Chaos Titans. The Abominatus is a union of an Emperor Titan and a Bloodthirster, a greater demon of Khorne. It wields fire and steel against its foes, with flames and gun smoke flickering from each casement and embrasure of its massive body. Its soul burns with the unquenchable fire of a demon's hate. The Abominatus bristles with weapons, including the standard Emperor Titan Plasma Annihilator and Hellstorm Cannon arm mounts. It also, however, wields the Blood Cannon, which unleashes torrents of fire and lava against its foes. This monstrous titan stands at a jaw-dropping 312 feet tall. After Abominatus, we have the Prisoner of the Emerald Cave. This demon is a mysterious and immensely powerful Great Unclean One of Nurgle. This unnamed demon was almost unstoppable and wiped out 300 Grey Knights with ease, with barely 20 surviving. Unable to banish the entity, the survivors trapped it within a prison surrounded by emerald gems and created seals around the planet. Little is known about this demon, but it is able to destroy huge titans with its enormous power and the decaying gifts of Nurgle. It is thought that if it ever escaped, even a planet-killing exterminatus may not be able to stop it. This colossal being stands at an unbelievable 328 feet tall. We have finally entered into the top 10. On number 9, we have Mag-Ladroth, also known as the Void Dragon, or simply the Dragon, one of the Catan. The godlike beings worshipped by the Necrontyr and later the Necrons. He was said to be the greatest and most terrible of all the Catan. The Void Dragon was eventually shattered into shards and enslaved by the Necrons. There may have been a connection between this entity and the Dragon of Mars, which was imprisoned beneath the surface of Mars by the Emperor of Mankind before the Age of Strife. The Void Dragon is the most technologically advanced Catan, able to harness the raw power of unrefined blackstone. We don't know its exact height, but it is estimated to be approximately 1,640 to 3,281 feet. Comparing it to everyday objects would be difficult, so we'll just leave it here. On number 8, we have a truly disgusting creature known as Foulspawn. Foulspawn was one of the most diseased and disgusting of all Nurgle's champions. It was said that the sight of him was so horrifying that hardened warriors who saw him were rendered incapable of any action while they gagged and retched in disgust. Nurgle was deeply fond of his unsightly champion and eventually blessed him with the reward of spawndom. His endless hunger made him grow into a huge, ugly monster filled with dark warp energy and covered in deadly demonic diseases. It is said to be around 5,000 feet tall. Next up, we have the bioships. Tyranids don't use normal spaceships made of metal and machines. Instead, they grow their ships like living creatures. These are called bioships, and they're alive. They breathe, think, feel pain, and are controlled by the Tyranid hive mind. They're covered in thick, organic armor and filled with deadly weapons that shoot acid, spores, or living ammo like boarding creatures and parasites. The largest of these are called hive ships. They are the command ships of Tyranid fleets and act like massive living brains in space. Hive ships are not just warships, they carry entire Tyranid swarms inside them and serve as mobile factories, birthing more Tyranids as they travel. They can eat planets, drain all the life from them, and move on to the next target. So while most races build starships and factories, the Tyranids grow theirs like giant space beasts. They don't just travel the stars, they consume them. These ships are around 4 to 15 miles depending on whether it's a bioship or a hive ship. The Fenrisian Kraken is a massive sea beast that lives in the deadly oceans of Fenris, home to the space wolves. It looks like a giant squid and can grow up to 5 miles long with tentacles even longer. These monsters are strong enough to destroy entire fleets of ships. Some believe Krakens are ancient Tyranid bioweapons, while others say they've always been a part of Fenris. Kraken fangs are used by the Iron Priests to make powerful frost blades, and the Space Wolves even keep a huge Kraken egg as a trophy in their fortress. We have finally reached the top 5, and if you think the Fenrisian Kraken was pretty huge, you are pretty much cooked. Next up, we have the Void Kraken. A Void Kraken is a gargantuan space-based Xenos life form that is known to prey upon Imperial shipping. The psychology and nature of the Void Kraken are largely unknown, even to the most well-traveled explorers of the Coronis Expanse. We don't know the exact size of this creature, but it is estimated to be bigger than the Fenrisian Kraken at about 40 to 80 miles. This next creature will definitely surprise you because it is a star! The Tyrant Star, also known as Comus, and the Hereticus Tenebrae, is an uncategorized stellar anomaly found in the Calixis sector of the Segmentum Obscurus. Comus appears as a black dwarf star whose arrival in the sky of a world is seen as an imminent herald of catastrophe. While the existence of the Tyrant Star itself is part of a wider prophecy called the Propheticum Hereticus Tenebrae that is of great interest to the Imperial Inquisition. It is said to be around 3,100 to 6,200 miles. On number 3, we have the Void Whale. These creatures are gargantuan beasts, nearly 12,000 miles long. These warped spawn entities have their own ecosystems and are home to various other insidious creatures. Void whales tend to swim across the blackness of space, sometimes also navigating the unnatural tides of the warp. In 877 M41, the hideously mutated void whale emerges from the warp and was destroyed by a boarding party of space wolves led by Engir Krakendoom. Battling their way through Remora, Engir and his wolves planted thermal charges deep within the creature's vital organs and escaped before it exploded. The Perillian gas belt was born from its remains. Their size is around 9,000 to 12,500 miles, which is massive. On number 2, we have the Catan, which are beings of pure energy that form a fundamental constant of the universe. Said to be the first beings in existence, they led the Necrons in their war against the Old Ones before their followers turned against them and shattered most of them into shards to be used as weapons of war. It is said that the Catan were born during the creation of the universe itself, formed of the insensate energies unleashed in the churning mass of unimaginable force. These creatures are bigger than the stars and are over 600,000 miles long. This is just a raw estimate, as they can be even bigger. On number 1, we obviously have the Chaos Gods. The Chaos Gods, also called the Dark Gods or the Ruinous Powers, are powerful beings of the psychic universe known as the Warp, created and sustained by the emotions and souls of every living being of the material universe. Although they are godlike beings, they are by their nature monomaniacal and completely single-minded, formed completely of a single emotion or concept, as well as being completely dependent on the emotions of mortal creatures for their power and continued existence. Gods are able to devote a fraction of their power to create demons whose appearance and character reflect the god's own nature. These demons may be reabsorbed into the god at whim. The least of the minor gods may be so limited in their power that expending their power to create a demon means their entire power is expended. In effect, the god becomes a demon. About the size, we don't have exact measurements, but it is estimated to be well over 1 million miles. That's it, folks. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Make sure to like and subscribe.